She was the actress who became a duchess, and the world couldn't look away. But behind the royal fairy tale, darker chapters were unfolding, revealing Meghan Markle's shady side. One might expect a prince's son to also be a prince, but in the case of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, things turned out a little differently. During the now infamous 2021 interview with Oprah Winfrey, Meghan accused the royal family of refusing to give her son Archie a royal title.
They were saying they didn't want him to be a prince or a princess, not knowing what the gender would be, which would be different from protocol.
The situation may not have been quite as unfair as Meghan suggested. In 1917, King George V issued a royal patent limiting who could hold the titles of prince or princess. Under that decree, only the monarch's children, the monarch's male line grandchildren, and the eldest living son of the Prince of Wales were entitled to those titles by right. This meant that only Queen Elizabeth's grandchildren and Prince William's oldest son, George, were automatically granted the titles. The Queen later made an exception for William's younger children, Prince Louis and Princess Charlotte. Now that King Charles is on the throne, Archie and his sister Lilibet meet the decree's criteria and can use the titles Prince and Princess. In the second episode of Harry and Meghan, the Duchess recounted her first experience meeting the late Queen Elizabeth and the events leading up to it. Meghan described how she and Prince Harry were attending a lunch at the Royal Lodge when he mentioned that his grandmother would be joining them a little later.
I remember in the car and driving up, and he said, "You know how to curtsy, right?" And I just thought it was a joke.
Harry then seemed to admit that he himself might have felt awkward about the family's curtsying tradition.
How do you explain that you bow to your grandmother and that you will need to curtsy, especially to an American? Like, that's weird.
To show what it was like curtsying to the Queen for the first time, Meghan performed an exaggerated bow. Many fans of the royal family saw the moment as an insult to royal tradition. On X, one fan called the moment so mocking and disrespectful. Another posted, "Funny how Meghan Markle thinks it's ridiculous to curtsy to a queen, but has no problem with people calling her a duchess or addressing her as Your Grace."
I hadn't had a fallout with her. We didn't have a closeness to be able to have that. And I wanted a sister.
Despite the fraught relationship with her half-sister Samantha Markle, Meghan didn't let that tension spill over to other members of their family. As revealed in their Netflix docuseries before her romance with Prince Harry, Meghan shared a close bond with Samantha's daughter, Ashley Hale.
I wanted a sister, and she was like a little sister.
But even that sisterly bond wasn't enough to get Ashley on the guest list for Harry and Meghan's 2018 royal wedding. According to the Duchess, she had been advised against inviting her niece.
The guidance at the time was to not have her come to our wedding.
Allegedly, the reason Ashley wasn't invited was to prevent the media from further exploiting the tension between Samantha and her daughter. But one source claimed to the Daily Mail that in reality, Meghan had full control over her guest list and was actually encouraged to invite more family members. After their post-Megxit move to America, Meghan and Harry needed a fresh income stream to support a life outside the palace and capitalize on Americans' fascination with them. They quickly struck a 5-year, roughly $100 million deal with Netflix in September 2020, just 3 months after settling into a Montecito mansion with 13 fireplaces. Since then, Meghan and Harry have released 5 titles with Netflix, 3 duds, and 2 that fared slightly better. Harry and Meghan was a hit by the numbers, but critically panned, with some accusing the couple of cashing in on royal drama. Meanwhile, With Love, Meghan tried to rebrand the Duchess as a lifestyle queen, a younger Martha Stewart, by way of Kensington. The show was widely mocked. The Independent called it queasy and exhausting. The Telegraph described it as an exercise in narcissism. The Guardian labeled it pointless and joyless. On social media, one user wrote, "This isn't a lifestyle show, it's a 40-minute infomercial for her ego." It speaks to Meghan's public decline that Netflix downgraded its renewal deal with the Duke and Duchess, reducing it to a simple first-look contract. The second season of With Love, Meghan failed to crack Netflix's top 10 and didn't even appear in the top 50 streaming titles during its debut week. In December 2020, Meghan and Harry signed a reportedly $20 million multi-year deal with Spotify. The company's ambitions were high, but their 30-month podcast partnership produced only 12 episodes of an interview series called Archetypes. A Vanity Fair cover story dug up the bones of Archetypes and laid bare the shady dealings that allegedly went on behind the scenes. One former Spotify employee told Vanity Fair, "They had this idea to do a podcast because they knew celebrities did them. They had no ideas.
I'm just excited to be myself and talk and be unfiltered."
Spotify began nudging Meghan and Harry to produce something, eventually sending in their own in-house podcasting gurus to help get the ball rolling. Even Terry Wood, executive vice president of Oprah Winfrey's Harpo Productions, was brought in. Apparently, the combination of Wood, an alleged yeller, and Meghan, a rumored bully, was too much for some staffers. One employee described working with Meghan as really, really, really awful, very painful, because she's constantly playing checkers. I'm not even going to say chess, but she's just very aware of where everybody is on her board, and when you are not in, you are to be thrown to the wolves at any given moment. The ill-fated endeavor led Spotify's head of podcast innovation and monetization, Bill Simmons, to call the couple out on his own show.
The Grifters. That's the podcast we should have launched with them.
In March 2024, Meghan Markle launched a lifestyle brand and has since been called out for its alleged shady business dealings. The brand was originally called American Riviera Orchard. As one neighbor told Vanity Fair about the name, "It's such a kind of hucksterism. It's just finding every way she can to monetize something." Things immediately went wrong when the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office rejected the name as too geographically descriptive. Meghan rebranded to As Ever, which launched in April 2025, and sold out immediately to the frustration of many. Podcast, The Art of the Brand, ripped the launch apart, with host and marketing executive Camille Moore saying it's probably having the worst brand execution to date. The show criticized Meghan's poor communication with subscribers and her failure to deliver on original items. Co-host and lawyer Philip Miller called Meghan a fraud.
Her brand wasn't one built on substance, it was based on using people.
Fans were frustrated by items selling out without warning. One claimed that she was playing the sold-out game and thinking her followers are all stupid. Reputation crisis strategist Eric Schiffer summed it up for the Daily Express. If Meghan's Napa Rosé vanishes at 11 a.m., retailers will dub her the Duchess of fake stock. Another 4-hour sellout, and shoppers will scream scam and toss the potential of buying a bottle in the dumpster fire. In December 2017, news broke that Meghan Markle's estranged half-sister Samantha Markle was gearing up to release a tell-all book focused on spilling some family secrets. In an interview with The Sun, Samantha revealed, "Meghan's a social climber. Hollywood has changed her. I think her ambition is to become a princess. The royal family would be appalled by what she's done to her own family." Samantha also complained that Meghan all but forgot about her after gaining high society status. However, according to E! News, a person close to the family says Samantha can't be trusted. The source revealed, Samantha Markle doesn't have a relationship with Meghan Markle, and she never has. Meghan has never done anything to her and continues to take the high road. It's also worth noting that it isn't just Samantha who thinks Meghan's completely different these days. One of the Duchess's former friends told the Daily Mail, "The person I knew is not there anymore. There's Meghan before fame and Meghan after fame." Meghan Markle and Prince Harry's engagement was untraditional for a number of reasons, especially as the former actress was already a divorced woman. Before meeting Prince Harry, Meghan was married to producer Trevor Ingleson for 2 years before they split. A source allegedly close to the couple told Woman's Day that the stress of a long-distance relationship likely played a part, as Markle lived in Canada when Suits was being filmed, while her husband lived in Los Angeles. As the magazine's source pointed out, it was a very difficult way to start married life. In their BBC engagement interview, Meghan Markle and Prince Harry revealed that they'd met on a blind date. Meghan explained,
Because I'm from the States, you don't grow up with the same understanding of the royal family.
She continued, "And so while I now understand very clearly there's a global interest there, I didn't know much about him." However, one of Meghan's former friends told a very different story and revealed to the Daily Mail, "I know the royal family was something she found fascinating. She had one of Princess Diana's books on her bookshelf, and even when she was with Trevor, she told me she wanted to go and stay in London for at least a month. I wasn't shocked or even surprised to hear about Prince Harry. I know she used to love the Princess Diaries." Meghan Markle's relationship with her family was a hot topic in the run-up to her wedding. Her husband-to-be inadvertently caused a stink by making a comment about Meghan's newfound connection with the royal family. He told BBC Radio 4, "It's the family that I suppose she's never had." Prince Harry's comment hurt the Markles, who hit back, with Meghan's half-brother Thomas Markle Jr. telling the Daily Mail, "She's had a really good family. We were as close as we could be." However, it's difficult to know what the truth really is. It's also worth noting that Meghan's dad, Thomas Markle, admitted to telling lies about his daughter in the press. In a Channel 5 documentary, Thomas revealed, "I said they called me back, and they were really concerned about me, and I said, 'Go on your honeymoon, don't worry about me, I'll be fine.' And that was all a lie." Meghan Markle starred on the hit show Suits for years, but she didn't become a household name until her relationship with Prince Harry, and it seems that her reps may have tried to take advantage of that newfound fame. In December 2017, gossip emerged that Markle was on the shortlist for a role in the next James Bond movie. At the time, a source told The Sun, Meghan fits the role of a Bond girl perfectly. However, blind gossip refuted this claim, with a source suggesting that Meghan was never in the running, and the rumors were simply stirred up for publicity. When Meghan Markle's relationship with Prince Harry was finally revealed, one of her childhood friends decided to give an interview to the Daily Mail. Calling out the Duchess for her supposedly opportunistic ways, the former friend revealed, "All I can say now is that I think Meghan was calculated, very calculated, in the way she handled people and relationships. She's very strategic in the way she cultivates circles of friends. Once she decides you're not part of her life, she can be very cold." Meanwhile, biographer Penny Junor, the author of Prince Harry, Brother, Soldier, Son, Husband, claimed that Meghan's love of fame would likely help her relationship with the royal family, even if it destroyed some friendships. Junor told The Express, "One of the advantages of Meghan is because she's in the public eye. She likes that. The real problem with Harry's girlfriends in the past is that they absolutely hated the media attention, and that scared them off. Because Meghan's an actress, she's out there selling herself anyway. That's part and parcel of her business and her career." Meghan Markle is said to have spent a lot of time in London following her split from Trevor Engelson. The actress reportedly struck up a friendship with local TV personality Lizzie Cundy after they attended a charity dinner. According to Cundy, Markle was keen to find a new man, but she allegedly had two conditions. Firstly, Meghan apparently wanted her new man to be English, and he also had to be famous. In her 2019 tell-all Tales from the Red Carpet, Cundy wrote, "We were having a girly chat, and then she said, 'Do you know any famous guys? I'm single and I really love Englishmen.' So I said, 'We'll go out and find you someone.'"
She loved London. She said, "I love the way you say darling and babe."
Sources close to X Factor winner Matt Cardle claim Markle quietly slid into his DMs in 2015, but the singer reportedly stopped replying after meeting somebody else. Her Instagram interaction with Cardle allegedly took place just months before she started dating Harry, according to The Sun. Unfortunately, once Meghan started seeing Harry, she apparently had no use for Cundy anymore, as the author revealed. "I texted, saying, 'Oh my god, I heard about Harry,' and she was like, 'Yeah, I know, we'll try and hook up.' She was probably told by the palace to end contact with people she befriended in the media. I was literally ghosted by her." To the millions watching around the world, Meghan Markle and Prince Harry's wedding appeared to be a flawless fairy tale. But reports suggest that it wasn't exactly smooth sailing behind the scenes. According to the Daily Mail, the American got a lot of British backs up when she requested that air fresheners be deployed at her wedding because the smell inside St. George's Chapel displeased her. According to one royal insider, apparently Meghan didn't like the smell of the chapel, which, as you would expect, is a little musty. It's not unpleasant at all, though. It just smells how you would expect an old building to smell. St. George's Chapel is a very old building, having been an important place of worship for the British monarchy since 1475. Understandably, it might not always smell that fresh. As an insider told the Daily Mail, Meghan wanted staff to go around with these atomizers, like spritzer guns, and spray the chapel with scent before anyone arrived. Royal household staff stepped in and told her office politely but firmly that this was the Queen's chapel and it simply wasn't appropriate. I don't believe a request of that nature had been made before. Most brides would be ecstatic at the thought of walking down the aisle wearing a diamond and platinum bandeau tiara handpicked by the Queen herself. But according to insiders, Meghan Markle wanted to choose her own. Household insiders reported that Prince Harry's bride-to-be made it clear which headpiece she wanted to wear on her big day, and things apparently got a little tense when her idea was shot down. As a royal source told The Sun, Meghan had her heart set on this tiara with emeralds, and Prince Harry hit the roof when they were told it was impossible for her to wear it. The provenance of the tiara could not be established. There were concerns it could have come from Russia originally. When news of Markle's alleged behavior reached the Queen, Her Majesty reportedly decided to give her grandson a good talking to. The insider told The Sun, "There was a very heated exchange that prompted the Queen to speak to Harry. She said, 'Meghan cannot have whatever she wants. She gets what tiara she's given by me.' The message from the Queen was very much Meghan needed to think about how she speaks to staff members and be careful to follow family protocols." According to the source, the Queen also struck a low blow during the discussion and questioned why Meghan needed to wear a traditional wedding veil given it was her second marriage. Rumors of an ongoing feud between Meghan Markle and her sister-in-law began to swirl after it emerged that the Duke and Duchess of Sussex would be moving out of Kensington Palace. Tabloids claimed Kate Middleton had snapped at Meghan after she caught the former actress speaking rudely to someone on her staff. The palace denied this in a statement which raised a few eyebrows among royal commentators. Royal expert Angela Mollard told New Ideas podcast, "It's fairly unprecedented for them to speak out in this way, and I think what Kensington Palace is wanting to do is to detract from this rift that's happening. Obviously, the Queen is in the golden era of her reign. She wants a cohesive royal family." The press has continued to dig into the allegedly splintered relationship between the two duchesses. There were rumors that the rift began in the run-up to Meghan and Harry's wedding. Princess Charlotte was one of the stars of the wedding, but it was claimed that her mother, Kate Middleton, was left in tears after an argument broke out during a fitting for her daughter's bridesmaid dress. Of the alleged incident, an insider told The Telegraph, Kate had only just given birth to Prince Louis and was feeling quite emotional. It seems that Meghan's road to the altar was anything but smooth. It's not often that people with top positions in the royal household give up their posts, so when three walk out in quick succession, rumors are inevitable. In May 2019, it was revealed that Meghan Markle's right-hand woman, Amy Pickerel, was leaving, making her the third member of the Duchess's staff to quit within a matter of months. A royal insider confirmed to the Daily Mail, "Amy is leaving. It's very sad for her colleagues as she is a really popular member of staff." Pickerel was expected to stay on and succeed Markle's private secretary Samantha Cohen, who, after 17 years with the royal family, also left her post. Markle's personal assistant also quit her job and caused a stir when she bolted less than 6 months after Meghan and Harry's wedding. Apparently, Meghan's personal assistant couldn't handle the stress of the job, as a source told the Mirror. She put up with quite a lot. Meghan put a lot of demands on her, and it ended up with her in tears.
It's hard.
Meghan Markle's relationship with Prince Harry seemed to have all the hallmarks of a real-life fairy tale when it first started blossoming, but it might actually have been more of a love triangle. Before she hooked up with her red-headed prince, Meghan was dating renowned Canadian chef Corey Vitiello, and reports have suggested that there may have been an overlap between the two relationships. Rumors started to fly when an eagle-eyed royal fan noticed that Vanity Fair had edited its cover story at Meghan's request, with the editor writing, "The sentence regarding the first time Markle met Prince Harry has been amended." Markle told Vanity Fair that the couple met in July 2016. The original article stated that the Sussexes had met in May 2016. According to The Telegraph, Meghan Markle was still dating a Canadian chef when she reportedly met the prince for the first time, it has emerged. Meghan had been in a relationship with Corey Vitiello for 2 years when they broke up in May, the month the prince is understood to have asked for her phone number after meeting her at a function. When the Daily Mail asked Vitiello if he was still dating Meghan when she met Harry, he replied, "I've got a lot of respect for Meghan, and from my end, to make it seem like I'm part of the story would seem self-serving and opportunistic. I'm pleased for Meghan. She's a great girl. There is no bitterness. I respect people's private and personal lives." Right or wrong, Meghan Markle was widely blamed when the Sussexes announced they were going to step back from royal life and branch out on their own in January 2020. Express columnist Virginia Blackburn wrote, "Meghan didn't understand that being a Windsor is not like being a celebrity. And it wasn't just the Brits who were unhappy about Megxit either. Canadian millionaire Kevin O'Leary told Tatler, when they are ex-royals, they become much less interesting. I think Meghan got him into a bad place, and maybe she should do a little soul-searching. She knew what she was getting into when she married him." Many people even seem to think that Megxit was Meghan's plan all along. According to Page 6, Markle put some of her clothes in a Toronto storage facility prior to her wedding, but she never shipped them to England. An insider claimed that Meghan had the items delivered to her and Prince Harry's rented property on Vancouver Island when they arrived in Canada following their announcement that they planned to step down from their royal roles. As for why the Duchess kept all of those clothes in storage for 2 years, it might be that Meghan knew she'd be returning to Canada, and that her move to England was never permanent. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle shocked everyone when they revealed they were stepping back as senior royals in a bombshell statement. And according to senior palace sources, even Queen Elizabeth was surprised by the news. Her Majesty reportedly had no idea her grandson was about to ditch royalty in favor of a quieter life in North America, but after a period of negotiation, she accepted the decision. However, she did lay down some rules for the Sussexes moving forward, including banning them from using the word royal in their private endeavors. This was a bit of a slap in the face for the couple, considering that they'd already named their brand Sussex Royal. While the couple agreed to the Queen's terms, they seemed to throw some shade at the royal family over some of the new rules. A few months after their initial announcement, a new statement on the couple's website seemed to want to make it clear that the Queen doesn't own the word royal. It read, "While there is not any jurisdiction by the monarchy over the use of the word royal overseas, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex do not intend to use Sussex Royal or any iteration of the word royal in any territory."
His family's been so welcoming.
Meghan and Harry also appeared to take aim at Princess Eugenie and Princess Beatrice and said, "While there is precedent for other titled members of the royal family to seek employment outside of the institution, for the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, a 12-month review period has been put in place." The York sisters have both been allowed to work while keeping their titles, and this seemingly snarky remark seems to prove that Harry and Meghan expected a similar arrangement. Now that Meghan Markle is stateside, she's apparently been dishing about Prince Harry's side of the family, and according to the Duchess, life was a little frosty in the royal family. In March 2020, a source spoke to the Daily Mail about Meghan and Harry's final trip to England as senior royals and said, "Meghan said the trip has been a confirmation that they made the right choice in parting ways. There's no warmth between the family members, and she wants to raise Archie in a household that is filled with laughter and joy and lots of hugs." And Meghan's sister-in-law Kate Middleton is reportedly the biggest culprit, with the source revealing, "It's still weird to Meghan that no one hugs and that everyone is so uptight, especially Kate. She said it's obvious that Kate and William do not approve of their choices and that you could cut the tension with a knife. Kate barely even looked at her, and their interaction was kept to a bare minimum." Rumors of a rift between the two duchesses have been persisting for some time now. However, this damaging narrative really started to take root in 2019 when Markle guest-edited the September issue of British Vogue and suggested it would have been tacky to appear on the cover herself. Perhaps Meghan should have done some research prior to making her comment, as Kate appeared on the cover of Vogue in 2016.